All right, we got something to talk about here. This is coming from Mark chapter 10. Notice this. This is verse 42. Jesus speaking, he says, "You know, the rulers in this world lord it over their people, and officials flaunt their authority over those under them. But among you, it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first amongst you must be the servant of everyone else. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many." It's very interesting, and it's a good point. And here's something, as I was thinking about this, I think it's really hard to be a real servant, okay? There are some people that naturally, or maybe it's not natural, I don't know. There are some people that are better at this. Let's put it that way. They're always looking for ways to help others. They're always looking for ways, maybe not to directly help somebody, but to be helpful in every situation. And I'm going to tell you that that requires a certain attitude. It requires a certain understanding of yourself, of who everyone else is. And it requires, honestly, understanding and knowing God's heart in this situation. So, Jesus here is basically saying, look, when you look at the rulers of the world around you, understand that's not how it is in my kingdom. It's a different thing. Okay? The hierarchy, if you would call it that, of important people is based on people that are serving others. Okay? And I want to say this. This is talking about ministry, okay? And when you look at ministry, and when you look at what it means to be in ministry, it literally means to serve other people. People have completely, well, I don't know how to put this. They've messed up what ministry is. Let's put it that way. It's confused, okay? Completely confused, okay? When you are ministering to somebody, what you're doing is you're serving them basically in a spiritual capacity. But that could mean in physical ways, you're ministering to somebody. You're doing it because the Lord has ministered to you. The Lord has served you by going to the cross. He served you by doing so much. And now, having received, you are freely giving to others. And it's an important thing. That needs to take place in the heart and the life of the believer. They need to understand what they've received, and then they need to rejoice and be excited to take what they've received from the Lord and then to give it to other people. And that's why if you go out and you share the gospel with people, you are actually doing ministry because you're giving what you've received to others. Now, it's important to note, it doesn't look like human government, okay? It doesn't look like a big organization and all of that. Those things exist because there needs to be organization and management and all of that stuff. But the ministry that's taking place takes place between people. That when a person is basically serving the Lord, they are then ministering to other people. Now, I want to note here, Jesus says, whoever wants to be first must be the servant of all. He's saying, understand the way he rates his servants. Understand, if you want to be high ranked, it's not based on smooth words. It's not based on, something like the size of a church or, how many people you invited on Sunday. It's not based on those things. It's based on serving everyone. It's based on your attitude, your heart. It's really, and that attitude, that heart comes from your relationship with the Lord. So it is truly based on your relationship with the Lord, you receiving from him and then pouring out to others. And he says, look, understand it. I didn't come to be served, but I came to serve. And he says, basically, I can demonstrate this because I came to give my life as a ransom for many. These disciples that are hearing this, they don't even know what he's talking about. Okay? It's been proven over and over in the scripture that most of the time when Jesus was talking, it like with these guys, it went in one ear and out the other. But sooner or later, they got it. Okay? And I think that is another thing that you have to realize as a believer. Sooner or later, you need to get it. Sooner you need to ask the Lord. If you're not there, if you're like, you know what, Dale, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't like most people. Well, you need to pray about that. You need to ask the Lord to change your heart, or to give you His understanding and His heart for those people. You might say, I'm a selfish person and that's just who I am. Well, listen, sooner or later you're going to get it. You're going to understand that's the wrong thing, right? When you're serving yourself, you're just pouring fuel on the fire of discontentment and emptiness. So I find this to be really something that I regularly forget, and I have to remember, wait a minute, what am I doing? Right? What's my calling? What has God put before me? I have to remind myself that, my life is not my own. It was bought at a price. I have to remember that. I have to remember regularly that I'm called to love people the way that the Lord loved people. And I can tell you, as anybody that's regularly ministering to people, I'm not just talking pastors, I'm just talking about Christians that are trying to bless and help other Christians. I can tell you there are times when it's not that easy. It should be the easiest thing in the world, but it's not. And we have to always go back to what the Word says, that we need to consider the Lord, how He endured hostility, how He endured such trouble, so that we don't grow weary in our service to Him. We don't grow weary in well-doing. We need to remember that. And I just want to encourage you today, make sure that you have the goals that the Lord has for you. If your heart is completely against serving others, it's totally against really blessing people and loving people, you need to understand that you're out of step with the Lord, and you really need to ask Him and say, okay, Lord, how should I feel here? How should I act? How should I think? All of these things, how do they become in line with your heart, your motives, your mind? And I tell you, that's the best place to be. When you're outside of that, it's a mess. So I hope that ministers to you today. Happy Tuesday. I forgot to say that. And may God richly bless you.